Hey everyone. If you've ever set up the same Proxmox VM more than once, you know the pain. In this video, I'll show you how to make your life way easier. We'll use Cloud-Init to automatically set the hostname and IP, and I'll show you how to turn your VM into a reusable template. Because honestly, who has the time to sit there and click through the installer 10 times? Let's get started. Now, some of you may be asking, what is Cloud-Init? Well, Cloud-Init is a tool used to automatically configure virtual machines when you first boot. It's widely used in cloud platforms like AWS, OpenStack, but Proxmox also supports it for automating VM setup. For those who work in IT, this is very similar to the customization specification that's in there. Okay, we need to get Proxmox open, and we need to select the VM that we set up in episode 2. In this case, if you're just now following along, any distribution will do. Just go through the installation, make sure root's set up, and then you're good to go. So in this case, we're going to select the Rail 9 demo, and as you can see, it is powered off. We do want it to be powered off. Then once it's powered off, we're going to go to Hardware. We're going to click on Add, and then we're going to click on Cloud-Init Drive. Now, it's going to ask us the bus and device type. You can choose whatever you like. I've always chose SCSI. You can also choose SATA if you want. And then the storage type, whatever drive where your VM is located. Okay, and then we'll click Add. Once we do that, you can see that it is now added here as a CD-ROM drive. Okay, we're going to start the VM. And then we'll bring up the console. And we'll give it some time to boot up. I'll fast forward through all the boring parts.
A few moments later.
Okay, our VM is up. So let's log in with our root account. And now that we're logged in, we're going to install Cloud-Init on the system. So it's DNF install Cloud-Init -y. And don't worry, I will post all commands down below in the description.
A few moments later.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is enable 4 services that relate to Cloud-Init. System control, enable cloud-init. System control, enable cloud-init-local. System control, enable cloud-config. System control, enable cloud final. So after we just got through enabling those 4 services for Cloud-Init, we need to make some changes to a Cloud-Init configuration, as well as make sure that we allow root the ability to SSH, because Cloud-Init can hijack it and change those settings. So first thing, we're going to go to vim etc cloud and then cloud config. And then what you're going to do, and I've already changed these settings, but what you're going to do is you're going to look for 2 lines. You're going to look for the disable root, and after you get through installing it, it'll be disable root true, so change that to disable root false. And then you're going to look for the SSH PW off, and then change that to true. So you want to change the settings to what I have on screen right here. Disable root false, SSH PW off, true. Once you have that, you want to save it. Then you want to go to your SSHD configuration file. So it's vim etc sshd _config. And you want to make 2 places that allow root to log in. I'm going to go to PermitRootLogin. You may have to uncomment it, but you want to change it to PermitRootLogin to yes. And then you want to look for another one called password authentication. There it is right here, password authentication. You want to change that to yes and make sure you uncomment it. Once that's done, save it. And then there's two commands that we have to run so that way Cloud-Init will change the actual settings. So we're going to go, we're going to type in cloud-init clean and then cloud-init init. You should see all this stuff pop up. So we're going to shut down the VM because at this point we've installed Cloud-Init, which again is going to help make our templates the ability to automatically set up their host name and IP addresses. And then we've enabled the services. All right, okay, so let's shut down. Minus HF now. So we'll shut down the host. Okay, now it's shut down. This is up to you what you want to do. This Rel9 demo, I already have it built. I can do things with it. I'm going to clone this and call it template Rel9 demo. Going to be on the same storage. Press clone. Now, this may take a while depending on how large your disks are on your system.
A few moments later.
The VM has finished cloning. So now, at this point, we're going to go find the cloned VM, and then we're going to convert it to template. So right mouse click, convert to template. It'll give you an acknowledgement, say yes. Once you do that, you should see it move down to your templates. As you can see, it's moved down right here where it says template Rel9 demo. Now, in Proxmox, we're going to go over this Cloud-Init tab. So click on the Cloud-Init tab. It's under hardware. Now, as you can see, it says user password, DNS, upgrade, IP config. Now, this user, when I first was setting this up, I thought it was asking me to set up root again, which is not the case. In this case, it is a new user, a super user, a user you want to use Ansible, whatever your use case is. In this case, we're just going to leave it as default, the password done, because I want to create that new user account when I go over Ansible type content. As for DNS domain, if you have a DNS domain, you can do it here. If you have any DNS servers, go ahead and place it here. For most people, this is your router. If you did set up a username and password, a secondary account, this is where you put the public key, SSH public key. Upgrade packages will do like, for Rel9, it'll do like a DNF update. I'm not going to use that. I noticed that when I first booted, it would try to do a DNF update while I'm still trying to log in at the terminal, and I had to get all this mess. It only happens on the terminal, not an SSH terminal, just the actual console terminal. And then for IP config, for those who don't have a DHCP server, this is where you'll type in your IP and gateway. We're going to choose DHCP in my environment. Same for IPv6, even though I don't use it. Click OK. So now we've officially set up a template. Next, let's deploy the template. So to show you that you can deploy multiple VMs from this same template. So we're going to go to clone. And when you get the dialog here, you're going to see this mode option. Now, this mode option gives you a choice between full clone and link clone. Now, a full clone will create an exact copy of that template, but make it a VM. And that copy exists on its own. A link clone is like a pointer in programming that links back to that template for that base OS. And anything new, well, it is written separately. Now, there's pros and cons of each. A link clone is really fast at starting up, making changes, destroying, that sort of thing. But the con is that you don't really want to use it for production because it can slow things down in the future. Also, too, a link clone, that template will always have to survive. If we get rid of that template, we get rid of that clone as well. So there's some pros and cons. Now, in our home lab, a link clone, in my opinion, is the best to go. It doesn't use a lot of hard drive space. It's fast. So if you make a mistake, you can easily clean up and move on. So we're going to choose link clone. Now, as for our name, we're just going to call it rel non-demo 2. Click on clone. Now you're going to see it on the left-hand side. It gave it ID 116. And, usually it can take, depending on, copying, anywhere from a couple minutes to, 30 minutes if you're doing a full install. But as you can see, we're already done. We're ready to go. Now, before we start this VM, if you're using Ansible or a Python script, you could do an API call to Proxmox, which I'll show in later videos, to set up the hostname would already be set up, but set up the IP address and a user account if that's what you wanted to do. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Cloud-Init. Remember, we've already set up our settings from when we copied this originally, so we don't actually have to change anything. And then for IP config, for those who don't have a DHCP server, this is where you'll type in your IP and gateway. We're going to choose DHCP in my environment. Same for IPv6, even though I don't use it. Click OK. So we're good to go. Let's give it a start. Now, what should happen after we start this is that, and we'll get logged in here, but we should see that the VM name now, at least at the host level, will be rel non-demo 2 instead of rel non-demo. And we should also see that it gets an IP address because we changed those settings to DHCP. Again, you can manually enter your IP address on the Cloud-Init tab. Okay, as we can see at the very top, it does say rel non-demo 2. Let's get logged in. All right, and let's find out what our IP address is. And as you can see, I received an IP address, and this is the right IP address on my virtual LAN. Okay, great, awesome. So we've officially set up Cloud-Init for automation down the road. We've converted our VM to a template, and I showed you how to deploy from that template. Let's, for the heck of it, let's do another one just to make sure things stay the same, right? So let's click back on our template for rel non-demo. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have the DNS server in here because I forgot to put that in here once the settings reset. Okay, everything looks good. So let's clone, link clone. We'll call this rel non-demo 3 clone. Give it a couple moments here. Okay, we're finished. We're going to start it and then look at the console. Okay, as you can see, we've logged into our new link clone that we created, and the host name is already correct. And we can see we got another IP address in the same subnet. Very cool. All right, everyone. If you have any questions or comments about the video, please let me know. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Take care.